Today is Monday. Here's time to learn something new. Chatting on this matter from everyone. We partially will meet you this hour and chatting with you. So if you have any thoughts, observation on the topic we would like to discuss and read today, feel free, drop the comment, and let's stay in touch for the further self-improvement. I'll combine my thoughts, observation, and some piece of my article, which you could find on my LinkedIn profile, into the article section as well. Or if you are interested in, drop me a message and I'll support you on this matter. All right. So sometimes I will check the chat, so feel free. And I would like to my fresh thoughts about the AI orchestration, and I will read my new article as well. So, is it a role or a process in sense of AI shift? A compass for navigating the shift, and this is my field notes from the emerging orchestrator roles, written to be argued with, not agreed with. Because of this connection, we'll create something new. Yeah, welcome everyone. Happy Monday. Let's stay maybe next hour here with our evening reading and chatting on the AI orchestration matter. So this is my author's note. The goal of this piece is to shake your thinking and surface what vibrates with you on your own terms. Treat the open questions as the real content. Where something lands in your head as unresolved, leave it in the comment. That residue is the data I am collecting. You're also welcome to drop a comment on this matter. Today we're gonna chatting on AI orchestration, shift, and how we could develop ourselves for this matter. And now I'll share with you my brand new articles, which you could find on my LinkedIn profile in section with articles. Sometimes I will dive into the comments. Please drop them. Do not hesitate. And yeah, let's begin Today, Monday is amazing. You know, this is a brand new year in some matter, and today I would like to highlight that the best time to self-improvement, because of the next year will be set it up this week, maybe this month. So yeah, stay tuned. Picture the Vienna Opera. A conductor stands before a bunch of people holding different instruments and signals them to execute his score. He plays nothing himself. His instrument is the ensemble. This image is the cleanest way I have found to imagine the shift I want to discuss here. Shift from management through leadership to orchestration. And I guess it's not a linear growth. This is a management, like level up, leadership and orchestration. So today I'm focusing on the orchestration as a source mindset, discovering and share with you and collect your thoughts, observations. Feel free, drop the comment. I'll chat with you further. The question underneath the whole article is simple to ask and hard to answer. Is orchestration a role, new title, new certification, a level up on top of a job we already know? Or is it a process, new way of operating that does not map onto any existing seed. My working position is neither in the way we expect, and that the confusion between the two is itself the things we're studying. And this is the first chapter, first small chapter. Article includes, I guess, three small chapters, and it's a chunks. And here the point, discovering what is the orchestration, role, process, or something else. Welcome everyone who joined. I'm Victor, business analyst and people manager, project manager, and today I'm going to share with you my thoughts, which I imagine in my published brand new article, which you could find on LinkedIn in the article section, on the AI orchestration notes and thoughts overall on AI orchestration matters. So feel free if you have any visions, experience on this matter, I don't know, thoughts, wrong cases, right answer, whatever you want. Please share your experience here, drop the comment, and we will chat with you directly in comment public as you wish. All right. So what is orchestration? Role, process, or something else? From where I sit, orchestration is not simply a brand new role, and it is not a certification-based upgrade to a current one. When we talk about a genuine shift, the focus has to be on the transformation itself. And transformation is not linear. It can lose part of its cause and effect legibility along the way. Creating something new requires developing a new vision first, before the vocabulary to describe it exists. So I want to separate two things that looked identical and are not. And before we continue, I would like to ask and chatting with you about the brand new roles on your environment, maybe on your own. What new roles you already execute or studying or observe on your workspace, workplace, whenever you're observing. Drop the comment. Let's combine the new roles and discover more for today for ourselves. Today, as per instance, I would like to share with you my observation on the brand new role, focusing on the AI orchestration. So feel free, ask something or chatting or just listening. This is my article and you could find it on LinkedIn, on my profile, in the section with articles. What is the orchestration? Role, process, or something else? I want to separate two things that looked identical and are not. Orchestrating people and orchestrating AI agents are not the same act. This matters because knowing how to operate inside a people-based environment, its structures, its politics, its slow trust, doesn't translate into knowing how an AI agentic machine will actually execute. They run on different logic and different natures. So my claim for today, that success required holding both at once and growing on both deliberately. First, continue to learn humanity and people leadership on one hand, and second, dive into the new logic and nature of machine-powered execution on other hand. These are not the same muscle. Treating them as one is the first error and most repeatable error I keep watching people make. they're not the same as before the new layer, self-reflection. Before we brainstorm any new operating model, stop and ask yourself an honest question. What is your clear expectation of this AI shift? What result you're actually trying to achieve? This question is fundamental action which must you stop and reflect on the current position and think about the next goal you will setting up. Because as I mentioned earlier, it looks like not linear process. For instance, when you create something new today in 2026, you of course should navigate by your last decade's experience. You could synthesize something interesting, something valuable, and so on and so far, pick it up and deliver to the solution you build on and make a transformation. So let me circle back. When we create something new, we will keep our previous experience and navigate not only by them. Yes, all right. So before the new layer, here is a self-reflection. Let's circle back with my question. Before we brainstorm any new operating model, stop and ask yourself an honest question. What is your clear expectation of this AI shift? What result are you actually trying to achieve? Be precise with yourself. Find the things inside your mind that vibrates and link it to your daily routine. This is the crucial point, because the weak place you have never named is exactly the bottleneck that will quietly block your mind's walkthrough later. Naming it is what turns it into a compass instead of an obstacle. Check that compass weekly. Here's the thing about weekly self-reflection. From my perspective today, we have all together, doesn't matter which exact domain you operating on, weekly based self-evaluation, self-growth journey could be comfortable for your growth as well. Let me think about it from the mentor's perspective. We could grow as a people, grows professionally daily, but let's be clear, here we have today challenges which could not be solved in one day, because of your mindset should be also shifted as a technology. Your communication changed, and for this need more than 24 hours. Of course, I'm focusing on the strategic shift. Maybe some skills you could practice by hours, by days, whatever. It depends on your goals. But currently I'm focusing on the vision, straightforward perspective, and the shift, as I mentioned, required a bit more long time on a weekly basis. So yeah, the second point here, a philosophy of action, seeing the boundaries. I'll recap in a few words what's going on here today. I'm Victor, business analyst, product owner and project manager in tech company. And today this is my self-education, self-growth process, which I kindly share with you guys. To make it clear, my observation and reflection today on the second quarter in 2026 on the AI transformation mindset first, and of course technology, of course solution, which we utilize for the team management, execution. And today I'm gonna share with you my brand new article, which you could find on my LinkedIn profile in article sections, or drop me a message. I'll support you on this matter after this stream. And if you have a brand new roles of observation or any kind of roles you are expecting in 2026, please share your experience in the chat, and maybe next time we'll meet with you online and chatting on this matter. So feel free. Welcome to chat. And I will share with you my observation on the AI orchestration. And the highlight point is it a role or a process? A philosophy of action, seeing the boundaries. Here is a few more practical observations combined from the first 2 quarters of this year. Read them as alternative path to growth, not as instructions. You could comment on what correlates with your own approach, and more usefully on what does not. I want this to say an open discussion that tracks the shift and the human behavior around it. The framing question for this section is: what philosophy of action do you use or plan to use when you work with agentic AI? Reflect at a higher altitude than the task. The goal is not to finish work. It is to feel the boundaries. The boundary between what was, as I mentioned, last decade experience, and what will be done. Let me jump in and smoothly reflect on this matter. Here the part on philosophy of action between humans and operation by robots. If them influence on our execution, or backflip of the coin when we operate some solutions powered by robots. We could use terms such as manipulation, orchestration, and maybe operation, execution, as you wish. And what is the boundary between what was and what will be done in sense of the global shift, like a force, I guess, industrial revolution, not sure, maybe 6th or 7th, it doesn't matter which numbers here. The sense of this discussion is to discover the brand new roles, emergence, and what is the dependency on our current roles, and how it correlates and will be correlating with our tomorrow's tasks. Not sure does it really matter on your role. As we know today, some roles will be transformed to another form, another roles, but let's keep this chart separate. And yeah, the philosophy of action. What about boundaries here? An AI agent is a powerful assistant that is not human. That last clause is the whole point. From my observation, the more structured, clear, and even marked down formatted your input is, the more structured and more predictable the result you get back. This is a well-balanced theory with practice evidence behind it. But predictability has an edge, and the edge is where the interesting work lives. Consider 2 genuinely different tasks. First one. Write a well-structured email or document from a best practice template. This is a good enough job for a one-shot prompt. The path is known, the machine walks it well. And the second one, create a solution that must not lean on prior experience. Something that, by definition, would otherwise be framed and constrained by how you have always worked. Here your ability to use the machines out of humanity qualities is real but limited. And the limit is sharp. Here's a great example of the boundaries identification here. On one hand, let me recap. On one hand, we have a just regular task on email or document creation, and on the other hand, we need to create something new from scratch. And here's the point: the machines embedded the limitation. As you're looking as an architecture of the system, you know your product requirements, functionality, include some logic and frame of work, limitation, whatever. And this is not a 360 degrees in a biological sense species of the products. Identifying where task 1 ends and task 2 being that boundary is what I'm observing and discovering right now. I do not think it is fixed. I think locating it is a skill. From 0 to 1, defining the one-shot solution. This is the greatest one point to challenge the today's amazing news and trends that AI should replace whatever we have today. Let's chatting on this matter. From 0 to 1, definition the one-shot solution. The crucial move is to hold both halves at once, human behavior and machine behavior. I'm not convinced you can run a dark factory of AI agents without a clear grasp of the tasks you are firing off and the result you expect, because you remain responsible for acceptance testing and validation. Of course, you can send the email without reading it, ignore the wrong data, and absorb the risk to your communication quality. That is a choice. It is also plenty a risk, but let me highlight it twice. The human today responsible for the validation of results which machine is executing. So welcome everyone. This is my reading Monday. I'm Victor, business analyst and team manager. Currently kindly share with you my brand new articles with my observations on the AI shift and transformation and brand new roles emergence, for instance, AI orchestration. You could find my article on my LinkedIn profile in the article section, or drop me a message, comment. I will support you on this matter. So think twice about validation, no matter who executed the work. Are you actually able to perform the check? You do it by thinking from the end back to the very beginning. Reasoning backward from the result you will accept is also what lets you construct a well-structured prompt in the first place. When you can do that, the operational process become clear and you stop being a passenger. At that point, you are not using the system. You are the operator / orchestrator of it. Or you could combine operator and orchestrator. Third part, the open source, open score. This is where the conductor metaphor closes the loop and where I deliberately leave this section open. If you read section first and second together, a pattern shows up. The role versus process questions may be the wrong binary. Orchestration looks less like a seat to occupy and more like a stance, holding two incompatible operating logics, human and machine, in the same hands, and continuously locating the boundary between the known path and the genuinely new one. The conductor doesn't play. He doesn't stop deciding either. So I will not resolve it for you. I will leave the score open and hand you the questions I'm still carrying. And if you want, is orchestration something you become or something a systems or system runs through you, or another one where in your own week does the boundary between template work and 0 to 1 work actually sit, and is it moving or no? And if you removed yourself from the validation loop, would the dark factory still produce something you would sing your name to? Mark what vibrates, leave the rest in the comments, and the residue in the next article. All right, so in a nutshell, few words about my article, which you could find in my LinkedIn profile, an article section, which named orchestration and questioning. It is a role or a process. And today I shared with you my thoughts, my observations. Please drop a comment if you have an experience with whatever brand new roles today. From my perspective, from management side, this is an orchestration, people orchestration, AI agents orchestration, and so on and so far. This is just like an example. And here is the basement for the vision, I guess, next 5-10 years on the AI transformation matter. If you have any questions, please drop a comment. Stay connected with me, and if it's clear, see you next time. And yeah, appreciate your support, guys, who stay with me this live. See you next time. Cheers. Thank you.